mine, Alma Greer, and she's going to talk about her event on July 20th in Highland Park, Literacy in the Park. Good morning, Mrs. Greer.
Good morning. How are you?
All right. Say good morning to my co-host, Brenda Hill.
Good
Uh,
morning, Brenda.
I think literacy is the way out of poverty. The single
Amen.
most important thing to having a good life. You know, if you can read and comprehend, you can achieve at anything.
Tell us
That's
about your
right.
tell us about your program.
Well, I'm calling to invite the community to Literacy in the Park on Saturday, July 20th, 2019, from 12 to 5 p.m. It's on the grounds of McGregor Library in Highland Park, 12244 Woodward Avenue. Our theme this year, as it was last year, is STEAM. We say full steam ahead:
Yeah.
science, technology, engineering, art, and math. Kids are going to read math and science books to volunteer listeners to earn tickets for, now listen to this, a science experiment with author Christine Taylor Moore. She has authored more than 60 books on such things as the planet Earth, computers, plants, and genetics. Those are just a few of her titles. And they can earn tickets to technology, key, video games. We have a video game truck and coding tutorial. And engineering, we have Legos, robotics, and marble maze. We have art, face painting, T-shirt design, dancing, and singing. And math, we're going to make ice cream the old-fashioned way. So we are encouraging parents to bring their young people so they can become involved. And they earn the right to ride a pony, ride a train. There's a photo booth. If they get a bookmark with a picture on it, we're going to have a petting zoo, and we also have lunch. It's free and open to the public, and we invite all of the community members to come and bring the young people.
How long
Uh,
how long have you been having this program?
well, we work in partnership with the Highland Park Business Association, and in this partnership, we co-sponsor the Literacy in the Park as part of the music festival. And Mr. Hackshaw told me that we've been doing this about 7 years,
7 years.
it's been about 7 years, and the volunteer listeners have been absolutely wonderful. They listen to the young people read and give them tickets. I tell them freedom is not free. They have to earn the right to ride the pony, to ride the train, or to go into the media van, or to make ice cream, or to design a T-shirt, and participate in many of the other activities. We're also featuring a young Detroit poet, King Thomas Moore. Now, King Thomas Moore is just wonderful. He is the youngest winner of the Night Arts Foundation Award, and he won $15,000 that the community helped him match. So he had $30,000 to sponsor open mic series for young people 12 and under. He was concerned because the young people were not participating in the open mic activities that he was involved in. So he wanted to do something about it. So he applied for the Knight Foundation grant and was successful. So we had him before, and we were so pleased with him that we invited him back. So we certainly want to invite the community to come. And you know that quote by Frederick Douglass always rings in my head. He says, "Once you learn to read, you will be forever free."
And no question about it. Let me ask you this, Mrs. Greer. How do we get our young kids to read books? Because it seems like it's becoming a lost art. You know, kids.
Well, they seem to be so entranced with these cell phones, and so we refer them sometimes to the sites that introduce them to books. And one of the things that we have to do is talk to the parents and encourage them to read to their children. Ruth Love, who was a superintendent of schools in Chicago, said if families would take time to read to their children just 15 minutes a day, that would revolutionize the system. Because if you do that, young people will be open to reading.
Yes.
So one of the things we do, we provide books for them in another activity. We go to school opening events and we give books away. We also put books in barbershops. We have bookshelves in 5 barbershops, and we talk to the barbers about encouraging the young people to read, and they have been absolutely wonderful. So, you know that they said, each one teach one. If each of us would encourage one child to read, at Christmas or birthday, just give them a book. And that would demonstrate your commitment to supporting literacy in our community.
You know,
The adults are going to have to participate in this.
Yes.
and
Yes.
you know, I went over to a friend's house one time, and they didn't have a book, a magazine, a newspaper. I'm like,
Oh,
I'm like, eh, 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 that is unbelievable. I grew up where we had newspapers delivered. We had books. My mother used to buy encyclopedias every 2 years.
Right.
It
Right.
seems
right,
like that's a
right.
that's a lost art now. You
And the
know.
Dr. Seuss and the Disney books, they used to sell them, in the grocery stores. In the package, they used to have commercials on TV. Every little kid had that package of all the Disney books, and I'm glad you talked about STEAM. And math, reading is 75% of any math.
Oh,
The
yes, yes,
theorems, the rules. You have to know how to read to understand math, and also
absolutely.
Copernicus, who was black, and Galileo, who was black. Those are the fathers of modern day mathematics. And those people had to read. And when I was born, my mother didn't even graduate ninth grade. She was born in Alabama. And by the time I was 6 years old, I could read better than her. And she had me reading to my brothers. And so that's how you grow up. And I love a book. I love a bookstore. I love the binding. I love the pages. I love the feel. I I would tell everyone, just fall in love with the construction of the book, and the words will jump off the page at you. You'll just love it. You love the experience of starting with one sentence and it being webbed into a story that just envelops you right until the very end.
Well, let Miss Greer tell us once more. Talk about the event. It's when.
Okay, it's Lyrics in the Park in Highland Park in front of the McGregor Library. It's Saturday, July 20th, 2019, and it's at 12244 Woodward Avenue. And so we want the community to join us and put some steam in our community.
Yes.
I think it's going to take a community effort to eradicate illiteracy in our community.
Yep.
We have to. It impacts the economics in our community. It impacts, the
Impacts your
prison
life.
the prison population is the fastest growing business in our country.
Mm.
We have more people in prison than any other industrialized nation of the world. And many of those prisoners do not know how to read. A few years back, I read a stat, and I don't want to give incorrect stats, but about 5 years ago, I read one that said 85% of the prisoners could not read.
Ain't no
And
question. Go
I
ahead.
naively thought hmm
Well,
that if we could get them.
I was just gonna give the number out 313-283-3129 if you want information, or go to their website at info at literacyinthepark.com. July 20th. Mrs.
Thank
Alma,
you for sharing that.
yeah, and
Thank you.
Mrs. Alma Greer, thank you very much for promoting this. We don't have enough
And for all
people.
you do.
Yes, we don't have enough people to promote literacy because the
Well,
key.
as long as I have breath in my body, the Father, Mother, God has directed me to do this. And one thing I want to share that I do, and nobody has confronted me for this. When I go to the store, no matter what store it is, if I see a mother with a baby in the baby carriage, I quietly go up to her and ask her if she reads to her child.
Mm.
And we get in the most wonderful conversations. And most of them say yes. I encourage them to read to the child because if they read to them early, as soon as they get here, then when they go to school, they will already know how to read. It's easier to prevent illiteracy than it is to correct it. So we want to be involved, prevent it, just to everyone with their children. Make sure you just provide 15 minutes a day, 15 minutes out of the whole 24 hours. And you read to the child, I have the child quietly read to themselves.
And then
You
when you
know,
hand a little kid a book, I know you all do that. Just hand a little kid a book when you all are out and about. Look at that
yes.
child's face. They love
Every,
it.
They
They
every once
love
in
it.
a
love it.
while, every once in a while, I open my trunk of my car.
Yes.
When I have books in there, and if I see a kid, I'll take a book and give it to them.
Yes. It's like
Well,
it's like Christmas morning to them. They
well,
they
Right.
immediately touch it and open it and rub it and put it on their face. They love them
we got to,
and the bright colors and
and
stuff. So thank you so much.
we got to take a break.
You're
Mrs.
welcome.
Alma Greer, thank you for taking time out on this Saturday morning to talk about your event, Literacy in the
Mm-hmm.
Park, Saturday, July 20th, 2019, from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. at McGregor Library Grounds, 1224 for Woodward
Mm-hmm.
Avenue in Highland Park.
Yes.
313 283 3129. Thank you, Mrs. Greer.